Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I am the dyer and maker behind Latah Valley Fiber Co. Thanks for joining me today. It's a bright sunny day here in Eastern Washington, so short sleeves, yay! You can follow me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can find my shop online, latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com, and if you'd like to direct message me, lvfiberco@gmail.com. How are you all doing today? Oh, I've had a lovely day. I had coffee out with a friend this morning. And then I did a little yarn shopping after that. So that was kind of fun. I'll have that to share with you as well. Yeah. This week I thought I would talk about the market that I went to on Saturday and how that went. And then I have some hats and a pair of socks, and then some knitting that is coming up here in the future. So I thought I would also maybe do a little bit of carding so you guys could see how that is getting along. And if that interests you, let's get started. Well, we are now past the market. Today is May 11th, and the market was this last Saturday. So I thought that I would take more video and pictures, but that didn't turn out to be the case. Once I got there, I just got in the groove of doing the market, and so, it was my first market, so not really knowing all that that entailed, I simply forgot to take some videos later on in the day. I took a few in the morning, some pictures actually in the morning, and yeah, it was fun. So truthfully, I was a little stressed. I was fine until we were driving there, and then just the anticipation of not really knowing what to expect and how the day would turn out. I had a little bit of anxiety, but overall I really enjoyed it, and it was fun talking to people, and I met some new friends. So hello to you all that are joining from the market. It was nice to meet you and nice to chat about yarny things and projects that you're working on or interested in working on. So it was very nice to meet you. Thank you for saying hi and joining the party. So that was probably the best thing out of it all, is that I got to talk yarn with people and what they like to use and what they like to make. That was probably the best part of the whole thing. And then, of course, my knit group surprised me, and they all came out to the market to say hello and to support me in that way. So thank you to all of you who came out and did that. I really appreciated it, and was pleasantly surprised. So thank you again. That was very sweet. So I will post some pictures here of how I had the table set up, and the Friday, the day before, I put a table in my living room here and set it up and decided, the different tiers of the yarn and how I was going to organize it, because I have 6 bases. So, and my table was 8 foot. So how was I going to arrange that so that it was cute? And I also had hats that I was selling. So anyway, it was good to do that the night before, and it was fresh in my mind. So when we actually got there, you could pull onto the lawn of the field and pull out all of your stuff out of the car, and it was quick to set up. Of course, my husband was there to help me, so that was a bonus. Yeah, it was better than I expected, actually. And my husband said that I did pretty well. speaking to people. And I tend to be a little bit more on the, not shy necessarily, just I'm more introverted. So if somebody approaches me, then I can talk to them, but it's really hard for me to put myself out there. So this was a good practice in that way, saying good morning and how are you guys doing today and stuff like that. So there is one thing that I would probably change, and that would be to have little suckers for kids. Because, you know, as they're standing there, they're touching all the yarn, which is completely fine, but kids, they need a little something as well, that it's like a little prize. So I thought I might do that. The next market is in June, so I thought I would have that handy for the little ones. So, well, they're not little ones, obviously, but you know, because there were a lot of kids, a lot of families, and so it might be fun to have something like that. So I would change that a little bit, but yeah. Okay, I think that's it for the market. Yeah, if you want to follow me along on some of my market journey, you can do that on Instagram. I'm a little bit more, I post a little bit more on there. So let's talk about finished projects for this week. I finished a couple things. First thing I finished was a hat, and this is out of Malabrigo, Noventa. It's their super bulky. This is in the colorway Hollyhock. I guess I could have guessed that. So it's kind of a purpley pinkish color, and it's super easy to knit. So I followed the gal. Oh my goodness, you would think I would have this ready to go. I did this last week as well, and okay. So I found the pattern on YouTube. She does step-by-step tutorials on super bulky hats. She does other things too, but I specifically wanted her super bulky. And they're all free tutorials. So this pattern is a knit and purl pattern. And she calls it the Raindrops knit hat. And it's by Crazy Hands Knitting and Crochet. Again, you can follow her on YouTube. That's how I got the pattern. So what she has you do is cast on 44 stitches, and then you do a 2-inch rib. I chose to do a 1x1 rib, which is you knit one, you purl one, you knit one, you purl one. And so I did that for 2 inches, and then you start the pattern, and you knit for 8 inches total, and then you decrease pretty rapidly actually. She has you decrease knit 2 together, and then you knit, and then you knit 2 together, and then you bind off. So that's a pretty rapid decrease. You go from 44 stitches to 22 stitches in one round. So, but you know, it's actually a really nice decrease, and it fits your head really well. It's a beanie style hat. And somebody commented, I can't remember where, about the pom-poms on the top. And I had done for the market some with pom-poms and some that are pom-pom-less. And there were a lot of people. There was a bright blue one with a pom-pom. A lot of people liked that one. It was sharp, it was bright, and they were drawn to that. I ended up selling 3 hats, and yeah, it was a good day for that. I thought, you know, being that it was May and we're not really in hat season, I thought they selling 3 was pretty good, I thought. So I don't think I'm going to take the hats to the market for June. I am thinking of doing a different project, and I'm throwing around the idea of making crocheted keychains. So I'm pretty sure I can find a pattern for that, and that would be an easy thing to whip out, and I could sell it for fairly inexpensive. So the hats I'm selling for $30 because the yarn is so expensive, and then I have a slight amount that I put on there for knitting the hat as well. So they're $30. And then, but the keychains would be a lot less. So I think they might appeal to more people. Plus, you can use keychains year round, not just in the winter. So this hat is my latest hat, my finished object, one of the finished objects. The next thing I have is a pair of socks. So these socks, I have used the pattern before. They are the Broken Seed Stitch socks. And I couldn't find the name of the pattern designer, but you can find them on Ravelry if you put in Broken Seed Stitch. Now these, this is the pattern here. It's on the top, and I did something really dumb. So you cast on the toe, and I knit this in a different color. I think it's called Flax, and this yarn, both the toe and the sock, the majority of the sock is Paton's Kroy. So I got it at Joann's, and so I cast on the toe and I knit the pattern on the top, and then you just do knit stitch on the bottom. And then when I got to the heel, I always say toe, but I mean the heel. So when I got to the heel, you stop going completely in the round and you just work back and forth on the heel until you're done. And then you pick up and knit the front section again as well as the back. Well, this pattern was supposed to, once you did the heel, you were supposed to do the patterning all the way around the leg of the sock. And I just continued the knitting on the back, and I didn't realize it until I was ready to do the cuff, and then I was like, oh man, I was supposed to do the patterning all the way around. So that happened on the first sock, and so for the second sock, I just repeated that. And I mean, this is about 2 inches, so I didn't rip it back and do the patterning on the whole thing. I just thought, well, it matches this part, the top part of the foot. So, and then I did a 2x2 knit ribbed cuff and then bound off. And these are somewhat shorty socks. They fit around your ankle, just above your ankle. Also with these, I added, you can probably see it a little better with these ones. I added some non-slip grip to the bottom so that the person wearing these, you can wear them on your floors and you have a little bit of grip to them. And the stuff that I used for this is called Puffy fabric paint. And this is the black. It just added a little bit of, it's not tacky, but it adds a little bit of grip to the sock if you're walking around with just your socks on in the house. So these are a gift for a special somebody, and yeah, so I wanted to make sure that she had enough traction and didn't have any issues on the floor. I know that so we have hardwood floors, and I know that several times I have slipped, and I'm like, oh man, at least I wasn't on the stairs. So yeah, the wool socks can be a little slippery. So that is my finished pair of socks, and they are going, again, they're a gift, so they're going to their new home this weekend. Okay, so that's it. Those again are the broken seed stitch socks, and you can find the pattern on Ravelry. I did, as soon as I cast off those socks, I cast on another pair of socks because my husband's birthday is coming up. So John, if you don't want to be if you don't want to see your socks, quit watching. So I am using Paton's Kroy socks that I got at Joann's, and my son picked out this color. I would not have picked out this color, but you know, for a birthday gift, I had my son also. He picked out the color of the sock yarn, and I'm going to knit. So this is, I am knitting just a plain vanilla sock, and I cast on 12 stitches on each needle. So that was 24 stitches for the toe. And then I increased to 70 stitches before I just started knitting. I am doing these on my bamboo clover DPNs. These are a US 3 with which is a 3.25. Okay, so I've knit the foot already, and I'm starting in on the heel, and I'm doing my basic again vanilla sock, and I always do this on when I'm gifting socks. It's challenging because it's not like I have the person's foot in front of me, although these are my husband's socks, so I do have his foot in front of me. But I like to do this ribbing that's on the bottom of the foot. It kind of pulls in the fabric just enough. I mean, it will stretch out plenty, but it also will pull in if it needs to pull in. If I've knit them too big or round. So 70 stitches for a man's foot, that's pretty spot on. But you know, there's variation in everybody's feet. So, and it's funny because I have plenty of my husband's hand knit socks that I could have gone downstairs and pulled one out and looked at it, but I didn't do that. So I am guessing, but I'm pretty sure that I've knit on these size needles with 70. Actually, I think it's supposed to be 72, but somehow I didn't pick up 2 stitches somewhere along the line. Because when you increase, you're increasing per round, you're increasing 4 stitches. So I don't know how I got to 70. It should have been 72. But anyway, so as long as I keep the other sock at 70 stitches as well, then it shouldn't matter too much that it's at 70 and not 72. So those are my husband's birthday socks. And he knew he was getting socks, but as far as, you know, the color and the pattern, he didn't know that. So that will be a surprise, John. You may now look back at the camera. Okay, so that was another cast on. And then I also cast on another hat because I had bought several, I can't remember how many, maybe 10 skeins of the Malabrigo Noventa to make hats, and these two are what's left. Well, I had 3, but I cast on 1. Is that all? Yeah, that is all. Okay, so I have these 2 colors, and then I did cast on another one out of this pink, beautiful pink color hat. And I like pink a lot, variations of pink a lot. So I am doing the same pattern as the purple hat. So I cast on 44 stitches, and that stitch size in super bulky fits an adult hat, or sorry, an adult head, and sometimes a youth, depending on, so like my son has a really big head. His head is, he's 9, and it's the size of my husband. So there's some variation in there, you know, for kids with bigger heads. So it will fit a youth as well. Probably would be big on like a 6-year-old, but so 44 stitches. I am again doing a 1x1 ribbing, knit 1, purl 1. I have a stitch marker for the beginning of the round, and it is a yarn stitch marker, which is fun. Okay, and then I am doing the pattern again is just it's a 4 stitch repeat, and it's a 4 row repeat. So you knit all the way across, and then on the next round you knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2 all the way around, and then you knit the next round. So that's round 3. Then round 4, which is the last one, is you purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2 all the way around, and then you just repeat that until you have 8 inches. And it's called the Raindrops pattern by the gal that I mentioned earlier. I'll list it here, and it'll be in the description box down below as well. So, and this yarn is called, oh yeah, English Rose. English Rose. And it's beautiful. I like pink a lot, as you can tell. Okay. So I have a pair of socks going and a hat going, and I stopped by the Joann's. So I don't carry I carry yarn in my shop. I don't carry cotton yarn in my shop yet. I'm still working on finding a distributor for that and figuring out some recipes that would work using the type of natural dye that I use. So on top of all that, I had a friend approach me and say, hey, I would like a market bag. Could you knit me or crochet me one? And I said, oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. So my schedule is freed up a little bit, and I'm going to start that project. So, hi, Joanna. But if you don't want to see the color until I give the object to you. Stop looking right now. Okay. This I got at Joann's fabric store. And it is the Lion brand Pima cotton yarn in Blueprint. So her favorite color is blue. And this, I thought, so Joann's carries a lot of different cotton yarns. And so I was feeling it all, of course, because not all cotton feels the same in your hands. And in fact, the Lion brand, they carry several. This is their Pima cotton, which is notoriously soft. I mean, anybody that you talk to, if they say Pima cotton, then you can pretty much guarantee it will be really soft in your hands. And a Lion brand has another cotton yarn. It's called 24/7 cotton yarn. And it is very coarse and stiff. Which I'm sure if you washed it, it would soften. But when you're standing in the aisle, touching all of the cotton yarn, the Pima cotton is already soft. And yeah, so I went with that. And I found a crochet pattern. Now, one of the reasons that I picked, you can knit market bags. But crochet, I feel like, has a denser fabric as you're crocheting. You're using more yarn typically, and so that creates a denser, sturdier fabric, which is great for market bags. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to crochet. And if you watched my first video, you know that I started out with crochet, and then my sister introduced me to knitting, and I kind of jumped on that bandwagon and took off with it, and pretty much left crochet in the dust, although I have crocheted off and on throughout the years. So I could knit a market bag for sure. But I just feel that the type of fabric I want to be durable for my friend, that would hold up a little bit longer for her, would be to crochet it. So that's what I'm going to do. I found a pattern. It is called, I don't have my phone. Here it is. I found a pattern on Pinterest. I actually did go on to Ravelry, and I just was not finding one that I loved. So I went on to Pinterest, and I had saved some market bags. This is called, it's a free pattern, and it's called the Easy Crochet Market Bag for Summer. And it is perfect, I think. It has a nice pattern in it as well, but you can see that the bottom is very sturdy looking. So there'll be a lot, she can put whatever she wants in it, and it won't pull down or, you know, stretch over time. So I thought that would be super fun bag. And of course this one is in a yellowish color. But yeah, I think that's the perfect pattern. I had talked to her too about, because market bags come in a variety of styles. You can get one strap, or 2 straps or a handle. Or yeah, I think the handle comes with 2, but so I just talked about, you know, there's a lot of different varieties out there. So we talked about doing a double handle and one with a bit of a wider strap, so that depending on what you're going to put in the bag, you know, if it gets super heavy, you need something that's a little bit sturdier handle wise, or strap wise. And so that's something to consider. And again, I found this on Pinterest. And of course this lady has a flower bundle in it, so it's really pretty. But I will post a picture here, since you may not be able to see this off of my phone. Yeah, so that's the market bag. So I'm going to cast that on probably this weekend, if not even today. We'll see. I do have a couple things, but they're not like super urgent. My husband's birthday is it's in a week or so. Let's say it's the 11th. Yeah, so it's in about 10 days. Yeah. So I have a little bit of time to finish that up. Okay, so I think that's it for knitting and crocheting. So I thought I would take you along a little bit. Let's see, last video I talked about the processing of some alpaca fleece. And so that alpaca fleece is dried and it's ready to go. So I am going to card it on my carder, and I'm blending it with some wool that has already been processed. It's been carded. It's in a it's not in a bat. It's not in a Rolag. Those are the ones that are coming to mind. But it's Tiffany. Anyway, I bought it at my local yarn shop. They also sell fiber, and so it's completely cleaned. It's been carded and it's ready to go and spin. And so, but I wanted to blend the alpaca with that to create a softer yarn, something that would drape a little bit more maybe and have a halo to it. So I'm going to card that, and I thought I would take you along for a little bit of that. I probably won't spin any of it today, mainly because it's going to take me a little bit to card it all up into a bat. But what I thought I would do is my carder I can put 4 ounces of fiber on the drum. So what I thought I would do is 3 ounces of the wool, and then 1 ounce of the alpaca. So I'm going to measure those out. I have a scale, and then I'm going to just feed it on there. And I really don't know what I'm doing. I've never done a blend before. Now I've spun a blend that already comes blended. That's no problem. But yeah. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll take you along. So that's it for the knitting and crochet. If you want to join me for the carding, then let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to weigh out the alpaca, and again, I'm going to do about 1 ounce of the alpaca. And 3 ounces of the other wool. Okay, so that is 1 ounce. Okay, now I did not do any, besides washing, I have not done any prep as far as preparing the fleece. So I have already started with the other wool and a little bit of alpaca. So what I've been doing is I'll put the wool in through here, which is the feeder, onto the Liquorin, and then the Liquorin helps to deposit it onto here, onto the large drum. But I practiced a little bit with feeding the alpaca onto here, and it was just staying on the Liquorin. So I'm going to just do this and kind of pull it through kind of like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the wool here. And now this has been already carded and prepared. So that is interesting that it's leaving it on the Liquorin. Don't know. Maybe because it's already processed. But how else would you do it? I don't know. Maybe I need a bigger chunk. Not 100% sure what I'm doing. I've watched people blend bats that they are doing themselves, but the wool is, I think it's already pretty raw still. It's not as processed. So, I don't know. It's all just kind of an experiment. Ooh, ooh. Ideally, though, the only thing that should stay on the Liquorin is like second cuts, and then you just pull them off and you throw them in the trash, or you add them to a stuffed animal or something like that. Ideally. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more alpaca. One thing I neglected to do last time was clean out any of the vegetable matter and the poo. So yeah, I'm having to do that a little bit here. I might have to do this twice, put it through twice to get it a good blending. So let's see here how it all works out. But you know, I've found that it's pretty much anytime you're going to do any spinning or carding, it's just an experiment in, you know, just do a few things and you see if it's going to work for you and get you the result that you're wanting. So when I've spun just a straight fleece, I get a lot more resistance to the fiber being pulled through the Licarin to the larger drum. And I'm not getting that with this already processed fleece. It's just pulling right on there and all the fibers are going in the right direction and already. So, yeah, so that's interesting. Probably if I had prepped this on my combs, then it might go on a little bit easier. But this is just washed and dried. And so it's not, the fibers are not going in the same direction. And it's, you know, it looks like this. It's just a big curly thing. So probably should have at least put it on my combs and kind of straightened it out already, because I mean this is this is what I'm putting on there straight. You know, pull a little off, stick a little on, and it might, I don't know. It's all a big experiment, really. I don't really understand why this is not going just directly onto the drum. Like, why is the Liquorin getting all gunky? So maybe if you do a lot of carding, you can let me know. So, you know, this is the fleece I'm putting on. It's already been carded, and all of the yarn is going in the same direction already. So maybe that's part of the problem. But I mean, look at this. It's so gobbed up on here that it's not. It should be going right on to the larger drum and shouldn't be gumming this up. But it is. So here we go. It just is this big cloud. It should be a really fun blend to knit, you know, when I get done here with this. So that'll be fun. Maybe I'll take you along on that journey as well. Well, I think that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and taking time out of your busy schedules to join me on this vlogging journey. And yeah, it means a lot to me that you guys take time out of your day to join me. So thank you very much. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.